Hey guys, I'm Shyrshadi. I'm bringing you a Platinum PvT replay analysis. The replay was sent to us by ZephyrBlu, our red Protoss player. He favors a more aggressive build in the matchup. He likes blink openers, which is rather unique, especially in Platinum League. You'll find a lot of people who are just trying to like 2-base all in or whatever. But he's a very macro-centric Protoss. He just favors his aggression, which I really like. Now, one thing you'll notice is he's walling off on this side. What you may not notice about this map and may not know about it is there's a little bit of a gap here that prevents Reapers from jumping into your main on this side. The only place a Reaper can jump into this base, into the main base, is here and here. So, if you're going to Reaper wall, I would prefer that you wall it over here just because it will do a little bit more good. And you can have your units hang out here until you figure out if your Reaper opponent's going to jump into the main base or push around, trying to get into the natural. Anyway, we do see the probe moving its way across the map. And he's going to get over there, scout. Nothing unusual from the Terran player. Unfortunately, the Terran player did miss a gas there, so it's not mining optimally. He'll figure it out eventually, but big delay. Probe scouts the natural base, immediately runs home. Reaper scouting for proxies, so good scouting from that. So when the Cybernetics core finishes, he immediately starts Warp Gate and starts a Stalker. So he's delaying his Mothership core. This is going to allow him to get a much faster tech and much faster Warp Gate than you would normally see from a Mothership core opening. So Stalker first, immediately throwing down a Twilight Council when he has the money for it. So this is going to be a Blink Stalker opener, as I mentioned. And the Stalker going over here anticipating the Reaper jumping into the main base. But again, it doesn't actually work on this map. So pretty quick, pretty consistent probe production, which is excellent. Does lose one worker here to this Reaper due to the Stalker being out of position. A little bit of lack of micro rather from the Terran, loses his Reaper. So I'm going to preface this by saying our Terran player is probably not a Terran main. And we'll leave it at that, because it's going to come down to the point where, well, we'll see. You'll see. So chronoing out Stalker, chronoing out Blink. His gateways are already on the way. His gateways are going to finish a little bit after Warp Gate research is finished, but not a huge deal. Building a Mothership core. So you'll notice one thing is there's no robotics facility. And this is the thing I'm probably going to harp on more than anything else in this replay. Because with this exception, ZephyrBlu plays this out really, really well. He's spending his money pretty well. He's about to get a third base after he warps in another round of Stalkers, so his expansion is well timed, but the problem is we just don't have robotics facility. And what this means is, against a Widow Mine drop, which will be hitting in approximately 13 seconds, if it's done perfectly and it hits as fast as it possibly can, you're not going to have detection for quite a while. That Widow Mine will have the ability to fire 3 or 4 times before you have an observer in position. So just a lot less than ideal. The way this build normally works, so the way it normally looks, is, yeah, fast Twilight, fast Robo before your Mothership core. So when you built your Mothership core, you would build your robotics facility instead and then get your Mothership core. You'd be taking both these gases around 4 minutes and saturating them when they're finished. And then you'll be taking your third base around 4:30-ish, which is a bit more or less when he's going to be dropping it. But just a little bit of a delay in Mothership core, a little bit more. And still consistently producing probes. We do have a little bit of a lapse from dealing with the early Reaper, getting that Stalker, so there's a little bit of a pause there. And we're going to see some really flashy micro in a little bit, and there's a little bit of a pause there. But for the most part, pretty consistent probe production. To be honest, better than I would have expected in Platinum controlling these Stalkers like he does. So he's just going to move across the map. I actually want to show you this in his point of view. But you see that he's still building these probes. He's getting Nexus, he's built a pylon, getting double forge. He's doing stuff while he's doing stuff. So he goes back home after he pulls his Stalkers back. He's getting ready in case there's going to be a drop coming in. Grabbing his Stalkers again, he's going to push those to the front. Builds a couple extra gateways, but still hasn't built his robotics facility. He realizes this a little bit later when it's already has a mine in his mineral line, but that's a spoiler alert, I guess. But see, he's still building stuff, and he's microing these stalkers pretty well. Maybe blinking a little bit later than I would have liked him to, but to be honest, the fact that he has not lost any stalkers, and he's in platinum, and he's still building probes, that's just pretty impressive to me, to be honest. So, trying to find a spot that he can hide them for right now. Whoops in some zealots because charge is his follow-up tech. Gonna finally get the gases into his natural base. Getting an extra couple gateways, and 1-1 is on the way because he didn't start that earlier. I thought he was going to, but he looked at it and didn't quite add the money, so he didn't start it yet. So anyway, the map vision is one thing that you'll notice that I have a problem with right now. Is he sees this, he tries to blink away. A little bit of a misstep here because he can't actually leave. He's like, dang it, so I'll just kill what I can. Loses a few more stalkers, blinks out, and goes back home, gets his army together. So he's going to pull his army together because he's anticipating a push into his third base. He doesn't have map vision, so he doesn't actually know this is coming. So, meanwhile, double medevac loads up, and he doesn't see it, but it's flying into his natural. And here comes his robotics. He realizes, I don't have a robo yet. Oops. And now, this group of probes comes in. He's killed 5 workers. Now here's the problem. This isn't the case yet, but he's actually sending this army around here to try to pressure this third base. Now, for whatever reason, he doesn't actually pressure this third base. I think he kind of forgets about it. But if he had sent his army over there, just like stemmed it forward, then this is a much harder thing to clean up. This guy could just get out if he can. A little bit of a delay in his attempted exit, and gets his medevac sniped down. And these guys just kind of hang out. They don't really get to do anything. If he had been able to stem into here, even without the widow mines, and just kill these workers while his medevacs were being annoying over here, he gets a lot of damage done. And he very easily could have gotten away with it because there's no map vision. Literally, the map vision is his base and his main army. First observer just finished. He's going to be able to finally clean up this mine, which, by the way, got 3 kills when the probes got sent back. So, just a general lack of map vision. Now, again, this Terran player is not comfortable with the macro because you see he's floating a lot of money. If he had been spending all that money on army and had been multi-pronging, then ZephyrBlu's in a lot of trouble because he doesn't have map vision. And this is a very mobile army as Protoss armies go. But not knowing where your opponent's going to be means your army's going to be caught out of position a lot. So it's just so important to have this map vision early on, and I really feel like that's the only mistake that ZephyrBlu makes, just not having that fast robotics facility, not having the detection. His third base is coming down only like a minute late, which at this league is absolutely fine. It's just, I'm honestly rather impressed with the quality of play from ZephyrBlu, and I'm hoping probably too much on the absence of that robotics facility. But again, versus a stronger player, a robotics facility and map vision could be the difference between a won game and a lost game. So he just kind of ends the game right here. He's just got so much more army than his opponent does. He's going into Colossus, and honestly, you could double Colossus off the back of this very easily because you've got a really strong economy. Most of your money was spent on your early pressure. Did a really good job with his early stalkers, making units behind it. Unfortunately, he didn't actually hit the 6-minute worker goal because he was missing some worker production during the early Reaper, so he missed that and wasn't able to hit that. So sitting here, 54 workers at 6 minutes, well, not horrible. Not ideal, but not horrible, because he's still doing a really good job killing things. At this point, this is the part where the resources lost catch up because he wasn't able to get his stalkers out. And this is the part where he loses some workers because he just doesn't have vision here. So he's not even out of position. Otherwise, he played this pretty well. And it comes down a lot to map vision, map awareness. And this chrono still on this gateway that I just noticed. So, again, just minor issues, but very easily taken care of. He's really good at these snipes. He's really good at staying active on the map. But it's entirely possible to lose to a player who is better than you when you don't have an idea that they're coming. So, just one more thing to look at. It starts 2-2 immediately when 1-1 finishes, so he's paying attention to that. Pumping of observers very quickly. Got to clean up this mine, got to be ready for the next wave of attack. And just really solid play overall from ZephyrBlu. So I would say, honestly, get your robotics facility a lot earlier, get your map vision, and this build will do really well for you. You can get very well in the diamond with this build. So that is going to be it for this episode. I do hope you enjoyed it. Hope it does help, Zephyr. Really good play, honestly. Did a really good job. Just get that observer spread out faster, get your robotics facility faster to make that happen. Get your splash damage transition a little bit quicker, I think. You generally want to have Colossus started around 8 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes with this build, just because even with this meaty army, dealing with Terran's bio when they get to higher numbers is still going to be a challenge, because you don't have a lot of damage output in your army. Once the Colossus pop, though, you'll be able to have a lot more straight throughput, and it'll be a lot easier to close games out versus really strong Terran players. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a comment below. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and see when the new content comes out, as well as checking out my social media links down below. Thanks and have a great day.